I will be asking you guys, is your date night non-negotiable? Do you have your date night schedule on your calendar, or this is something just sporadic? Welcome to a new episode of the Eva Eckert podcast. And in today's episode, I will be asking you guys, is your date night non-negotiable? Do you have your date night schedule on your calendar, or this is something just sporadic? So let's dive in deep, guys. This is a very serious conversation today, a very serious episode. This has to happen every single week for all of you out there. So for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome to the Eva Eckert Show. I am a Polish immigrant with a big heart, strong accent, as you can hear me, kick-ass husband, and two beautiful kids. American entrepreneur sharing an incredible mission to inspire women around the world to take bold action in their dreams, passions, desires, so finally their life become meaningful and fulfilled. I believe that the badass superhero of your unique purpose is within all of you, all of us, and you can share it with the world. You should share it with the world to make the world a better place. This show will help you finally discover the power of self-belief, self-motivation, so you can stop making excuses and create the life you truly desire by being the upgraded version of you. Let's dive in, guys. But as we always start the show, we start the show with a gratitude. So I am so grateful for behind the scenes, the camera operators. I am so thankful that they spent their time to actually be here, sit with me, and make sure that this show is being recorded, that everything is set in place. I'm super thankful for my kids. I'm super thankful for my husband, who actually help us with that date night, which I will be talking about today in this show. This date night was absolutely crazy. So I'm so thankful for him to be always prepared and to be a man of his word. And I'm going to give you all the details. So stay tuned today because there's going to be some valuable lessons for you and for your spouses. Stay tuned. You can even grab a pen and paper always and dive in. I'm thankful for my beautiful pets. They always bring so much joy. And actually thankful for the fact that we found an owner of a pet that we just recently found. We were going for a walk and we found a little pup. And he was with us for 2 days. And by us searching and going extra mile, we found an owner of this dog. And this is actually a second dog within the past few months that we have found. It's been crazy. The universe brings us these animals. I don't know. It's some kind of a message out there that we maybe need to get a third dog, or I'm not sure. Maybe you guys don't. Anyway, let's dive into the episode. So guys, again, the date night. Do you have your date night schedule on your calendar? And if you don't, why not? And here is the thing. As I coach many couple, as my husband coach many different men, then I coach women, and I have group coaching. We always discuss this topic because for us, the date night is non-negotiable, and it used to never be like this. We would sporadically go out, and as an entrepreneurial couple, we would just go out on different meetings and different dinners, but the specific date night wasn't on a calendar. And a few years ago, through coaching, through being involved in personal development, we've realized that this is something that has to happen. And why is so important? Because in today's world, we are so overwhelmed. We are so, I would say, distracted by so many different things. We have so many to-do tasks. We have so many things to take care of. Some of you running businesses and you have kids. And out of nowhere, this date night is being pushed back. So you started dating your spouse. You started going out on dates and being always so thoughtful to win the person that becomes your spouse. And a few years later, you're just not paying attention. You think that, oh, now we are together, it's okay. But it's not okay. We need to create the intention. We need to create this time. We need to surprise the person. We need to have fun together, because without the fun, how can you create a really meaningful relationship? So recently, our date night was very spontaneous, I would say. We actually wanted to go for a walk, but we ended up going to a local hike. And here's the thing. First, we really hop in a car because we couldn't get to this mountain. So within the area that we live, there are just these, out of nowhere, these mountains. They just like somebody would place them for literally people to go on them. But here is the thing. These mountains have so many different roads to get to. And it's not a hike that it's a huge park that will take you a long time to accomplish. Those are just literally 3 mountains, but there's so many roads to get to them. And we always see them from our windows. We see them from our balcony. We see them from kids' balconies. And my cousin, actually, when he came to visit us a few months ago, his family and him went to this mountain, and they climbed up on top of this mountain, and we saw them from our balcony waving to us. Literally, that's how funny it was. So this is what we kind of figure out. Okay, let's do this date night, see this beautiful sunset on top of this mountain. But we didn't have that clear direction how to get there. So we were driving for a little bit. And as the sun was going down, we were like, well, we don't even know if we're going to get there. So finally, after driving for a little bit, we found the mountain, and I had a flip-flops and a dress on it. Okay. I never go out to a mountain or climbing in the mountain being dressed like this. So I leave a water in a car. Like normally I would have a water, and Steve just grabs his backpack. There are necessary things in it, and we start going to this mountain, and we just talk. And out of nowhere, we get to the top. The actually sunrise already was there, so we didn't see the beginning of the sunset. We kind of saw the sun literally going down, and it's getting dark, right? So as we were going, we were so involved in the conversation, we didn't really pay attention how the roads get mixed up and where we park the car. Like we were so distracted. And the reason for it is because we were discussing an issue. So here is the thing. Probably never discuss these issues like that. Anyway, we get to the top and we call home. The kids show us the flashlights. We using a laser beam from the top of the mountain. They see us, we see them, we wave to them. It's really cool. And the top of the mountain is super flat. It's not big. So you see this whole area of these beautiful homes where we live. And we kind of were looking 360 where we are, trying to locate ourselves. And the sun is going down. It's getting dark. So we're like, you know what? We got to go home. And as we start going down, we hit the main moment as the right where the mountain ends. And it's pretty dark, guys, already. So I start using my phone, and I'm like, damn, I don't have a flashlight with me. And Steve is pulling out his flashlight, all the necessary tools that he always carry with him. And he's like, here, you have additional flashlight from me and we're going to discuss this, guys. And he gives me the flashlight. We using this flashlight, we see the bunnies and the spiders and all these things starts crawling out. It's pitch black now. And we're standing by the mountain, and we're like, where the heck did we park? So we're using the remote control from the car. Nothing is working. I think we are too far. We are like, okay, so I think it's this road. So we're going that way. We start going down. We're walking. It's pitch black. We only have these flashlights, and we hear the sounds. And like the first thing in me is like, okay, the first thought is getting dark. How long is it gonna take us to get home? I'm start thinking. I'm like, what would we do if we could really get lost and not find the car? We're like starting to think and start talking. If we're gonna ended up finding a different road that we have to go barefoot to the house, we're just gonna go and get the Uber and come back and get the car. But the first thing, we have to get out of there. And this is like a maze, guys. Literally, I will never forget the date night since we got lost in the maze of the mountain. I will never forget this. So it's a memorable event. So we are talking like, okay, this road is not working. Let's use a different road. So we go and find a different way. We start walking. And what would you do if you would get lost in a date night? Like, would you panic or would you stay calm? Would you have still fun with your date night, or you would start blaming your spouse for taking you there? We were kind of quiet and trying to figure out the way, but we were actually having fun. We were like, we will never forget this date night since we got lost in the maze of the mountain. This is going to be like a memorable moment for us. And we were like, people should be creating these memorable moments of their date nights, because what else is there to do in life? You work, you are an entrepreneur, you have kids, you want to build wealth, you want to have money, you go on the trips, but the trips are maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. Is this supposed to be building your relationship? No, this is a constant time. And that's what we always talk about this in The Russian and the Freak show. And we talk about in our coaching sessions with our clients, that this is something that needs to happen. You work on yourself, you have time for yourself, and you need to have time for your spouse. And this is something that has to be non-negotiable every single week, because you create these moments and they cannot be postponed. So as we were finding out the road, Steve is like, maybe this one. So we go and take this road. I don't know how many trials we had, but we finally found the way out. And I am going to be talking to you guys more about this whole situation, what preparation means in the next part of this date in the middle of the night at the mountain. And we get lost, because there are valuable lessons. But today I want to concentrate on just getting you on a schedule with your spouse, getting that date night on your schedule. And here is the thing, guys. A lot of people say, you know what? There are so many excuses. Literally, people have excuses. And I would like to hear from you. What kind of excuses do you have not to be connected with your spouse? What kind of excuses do you have not to go out with your spouse? And here are the excuses that people say to me. We don't have money. So look, if you don't have money, you can stay at home. You don't need to even go out and do a lavish date night. You can go to the park. You can take a bike. You can literally create a picnic. We've done dates that we've been walking in the neighborhood. You can drive to a local, pick a local, I would say, town, and find out about the history. Go to a free museum. There are ways of doing it. Then another excuse, and this goes into the same thing, like we save money for our home. Okay, so you're gonna be saving. Look how this sounds. So you're gonna be waiting. You're gonna be postponing your date night, maybe just watching Netflix all the time, binging, gaining weight, because that's what happens usually with couples. For you to save the money to go on a date night, and it's for you to save the money to buy the house. And eventually, when you have this house, you already disconnected with your spouse, because you don't have valuable conversations, you don't have that one-on-one time, you don't create these valuable moments, and this leads only to problems. Like, think about it. There's so many divorces out there now, and it takes two to tango, guys. Both of you need to put an effort in it. This is not something like I've seen with a lot of women. A lot of times it's like the woman will be like, well, my husband needs to take me on a date. He needs to buy me roses. He needs to buy me flowers. Well, listen, it's not only your husband, it's you as well. You have the feminine side. You can create a beautiful, sexy date night. And look, I am not a sex coach here, all right? And I'm just drinking my herbal tea concentrate from Herbalife. I'm not going to be giving you ideas on your sex life here. This is not what we're doing. But look, just discover your feminine side. Lose weight, get your shape together, get yourself together, start working out, eat healthy, wear sexy clothes, bam, date night. And always go out looking sexy. Here's another thing that was like funny because I wear a dress in a flip-flops for that date night. So guys, this is a literally an endless topic. It's again, women, it's not only that the guy have to. I know we love to be surprised, and let me tell you, I love to be surprised too. Sometimes the way how you do it, if you're a woman and you think that you are the alpha woman and you always create the date nights, you always take your husband, maybe organizing the trips, and always have these ideas, great. In order for you to have your husband take over, you need to step back, because I am this kind of woman too. But I've realized that my husband is alpha man. There can be two alpha and under the same roof. So sometimes you need to step back and let the men lead. Let the men surprise you, absolutely. But sometimes wouldn't he feel fun and surprised and really appreciate you if you would create something? So guys, it really works both ways. That's another really endless topic. Another thing is, people say to me, couples say, I am not creative. Women say I'm not creative. Men even say I'm not creative. But the creativity comes, you know when? When you start working on things, when you actually put your mind into things. Like when I was creating, like even this episode, when I put a topic, for instance, and I say, okay, I'm going to be talking a date night, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to give you guys an example of the date night. I'm going to give you guys this crazy story that we have at this date night. And as I am working on it, putting bullet points, I create lessons, and I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to concentrate on? Like today, it started with really teaching preparation, but it led me about actually having a non-negotiable time with the couples. So more you work on things, more you create ideas. And when I started group coaching calls with my ladies, more I work on it, more I develop things. Like, for instance, our Freak Female community has endless amount of different groups. We have a video group when I post the recorded videos from our workouts. I have a community group when they just share ideas. We have accountability group. So it's all created like this because I want the women understand organizations. And more I work on these things, more and more I work on these topics, more creative I get. And we know, and you know what I'm saying, if you are an entrepreneur, if you have all these visions and ideas, you know what I'm talking about, right? So never say that you are not creative. We are creative species. We have, our human brain is designed like no other, unless there are aliens somewhere, okay? And we were watching the 100 shows, and it's really, they designed, if you guys watch the 100 shows, you probably know what I'm talking about. They literally discover all these different planets. And it's just incredible to watch how our mind can create something that actually eventually become a reality. So never say, I am not creative. You work on it, and how you work on it, this is the moment that I'm going to give you a tool. It's called Google Keep Notes, guys. I have this in my Samsung phone. If you operate on Samsung, that's great. If you operate on Apple, you need to maybe find some different notes where you can create a topic, date night ideas, and then you ask your husband, your spouse to be a collaborator. You send them an invitation with an email, and they can see the same list as yours. They can add the ideas to the list. Like we have a date night, little date night ideas. And the ideas that we have a watching sunset, doing a picnic, taking bikes around this cool area, this cool a park that we have in close to us, going and see a movie in a drive-in theater. I mean, going to hikes. There is endless ideas. Going to each beach, going to a spa and doing, a recovery, cryotherapy, doing what else we've done? We've done the recovery room when you actually submerge yourself in the Epsom salt and you float. But they have single rooms and then they have couple rooms. So endless ideas. Just keep on dropping those ideas into those Google Keep Notes, or maybe you can operate on just Google Notes. It doesn't matter. Just find out a way that works for you. People also have to tell me another excuse. I have no time. Guys, we create time. How come we run multiple businesses? You and me have 24 hours. Entrepreneurs, all of us people have 24 hours. It's all about organization. It's all about putting that time on your calendar and having the non-negotiable, guys. But it has to be something that just because you're feeling lazy this week or you just want to lay on the couch, you're going to skip it. No. And let me tell you, do we have sometimes weeks that we have to change the date night? Absolutely. Sometimes Steve travels to speak in his LTD company, like leadership team development. When he goes to different companies, he's spoken and trained Comcast. I mean, the top companies in the world. And he needs to fly and we have to change our date night. It's okay. Like, I'm going to be changing date night when I'm going to be speaking in the Idaho events, because I'm also invited to different women's group, different podcasts. And sometimes we have to adjust the schedule. But other than that, our date night is Thursday night, okay? And we actually realized recently, because we do a workout, then we want to record the Russian and the Freak. We were saying just recently that because of this recording, we go out later. And we wanted to have even more time for ourselves. And we just decided recently, you know what? We have to change the time of the recording for the Russian and the Freak, or start working out earlier. We need to adjust those things. And look, it's not perfection. It's all about figuring this thing out. Like, success is a journey, right? It's not a destination. You adjusting your things. And that's what I want to teach you here. What else people say? So if you are a person that's been saying, I have no time, create the time. Create the time with your spouse. Sit down today, guys. Sit down today and say, look, I think we need to have the time for ourselves, you and me. We've been growing apart. This is not the way of life. I wanted to grow older with you. I want you to be my number one fan. I want you to cheer me on and along my journey. I want to know your journey. What are you doing? I want to know more about you. And so let's create this time for ourselves. Okay. Look, I don't know. You can massage his feet. I don't know, guys. It doesn't matter. Just do something together, guys, because you started like this. Again, you started like this, and then you grow apart because life comes in at your face, because life throws the challenges at you. So let me tell you, if life throws the challenges at you and you're not challenging yourself and your spouse to grow, you are in a reactive mode. That's it. Bottom line. So let's change the life. What else? Did I say we are busy? Yeah, busy. What are you doing? Tell me. Most people finish their work, and if they go to work out, then they come home and they probably watch Netflix. Please, today, do a challenge and see how much of Netflix and television you watch. Average American watches 2 to 3 hours of television every single day. Those are studies done. That's what we do. We constantly on our phones. Put the phone down. Stop scrolling, stop watching, do something creative with your spouse. Talk to them. Diving into those deep, meaningful conversations, that's what we do with kids. That's what we do with their 101. that's how we get to know them. That's how we do in our home living. Because if you don't dive into those deep conversations, you can't grow a relationship, and you know that, right? What other people say, what else people say. We have kids. Come on. Is the kids are your excuse not to go out on a date? If you have little kids, I remember when our kids were little, we would get grandparents to the house. Literally, I remember one time we flew to Poland, me and Steve, and I actually bought a trip to go to Rome for our anniversary, and I arranged everything with my mom to stay with the kids, and the kids were little, and we went away for 3 days to Europe. We flew to Europe, actually, we flew to Poland, and then I took my husband on a 3-day trip to Rome. You can get it done. Hire a babysitter. For years, I actually look at my screen here, and do I still have this Sitterwise? I mean, there is so many companies, guys, out there that will send a babysitter to your house. There are companies out there that you pay a yearly membership, you put your zip code in, and they send you a list of babysitters that they can work within your area. That's what I did. Sitterwise, Sittercity. There's so many different companies. I've used it. I've used them even to come to the hotel. When me and Steve had a lot of events that we would need to attend together, the kids were little. The kids were 3 and 4 years old. Well, Ivanka would be even 2. Tyson was like 5. We would have a babysitter coming into the hotel from 7 a.m. sometimes, or 6 a.m. all the way to 7 p.m. Sometimes they would have to change the shifts to come and babysit the kids for us during 3 days. We've done this. So don't tell me that you can't do it, that you have little kids. If you want to get something done, you will do it. And here is the thing, because you hide behind the excuses, you create a bigger problem than it is. You create a giant excuse with the huge letter E in front of you. So stop hiding. And by the way, we just recently created a jar in our family. It's called the excuses jar or blaming jar. You put $1 inside the jar if you're freaking blaming someone or make an excuse. Today I put $1 and Ivanka too. You learn on the mistakes. What can I tell you guys? So please, let's not say that the kids are our problem. The kids are the most precious gifts you have been given into this world to raise them up into amazing human beings. So they have kids as well. So you one day become a fun grandma and fun grandpa. So again, there is a way. And if I have done it, you can do it also. And look, again, if you are on a budget and you can spend only $60 or $70 on babysitter once a month, then do it. And then create other dates when you don't spend money. We don't always go out to eat. Yesterday, our date night was going to a thrift store. You know why? Because a lot of thrift stores have actually a book section. You should see us. We were just there for 2 hours looking through the books. We got about, I think, 20 to 25 books because we are obsessed with reading. We are obsessed with personal development. We love autobiographies. We got so many different books, for kids books, for us books. And we spent like $50 barely for like 25 or even 30 books. I don't remember. We should count it. But there were so many good books. Sometimes you get brand new book. And, we get those books because we give them also as gifts. We love to give books out. And it can change someone's life at the end of the day. Think about it. Like there is always something when someone come to your life that will change your life forever. So keep that in mind. So again, thrift store. We drove an hour to get to the thrift store. And then we took different roads to come back and we talk about it. We have meaningful conversations. Sometimes we can listen to the podcast. Sometimes we discuss different things. Like we were just recently discussing what our first and next video will be filmed. because there's something new coming up, guys. Stay tuned because this is going to be freaking awesome. And I'm not going to release it till we actually have the details. So again, date night it is. Create memorable moments. Have fun with your spouse. Please, guys, like, share, and comment on this video, on this podcast. And please leave me a review because believe it or not, but leaving a review gives us higher ratings and more people can reach out to us. And my goal is to reach to many of you out there, guys. So again, thanks so much for watching, guys, and being a part of the show and leaving your comments, liking it. You can also do a screenshot and tag me on Instagram, tag your friends on Instagram. I really appreciate you here today. I really appreciate your time that you've been here with me today. I hope you got some good lessons here today and you're gonna start your date night today, guys. Again, thank you so much. No excuses.